My name's Lawrence Lin. I'm in Lower 1001. I joined the fall of 2019, so technically I'm still a newbie. And I was born and raised in Hong Kong.
Amazing. How did you find out about the chorus?
Actually, my sister did. Um, she she Googled it. Like she basically said, "You need to go out do something." And well, you like singing, right? And then like one meal, she was searching something, and then like, look, here's this chorus thing. Um, Go sign up and do the audition. And when she found out it was 2018, but it clashed with my business trip, so I waited a year, and now I'm here.
What was the audition and the first couple of rehearsals like?
Nerve wracking for me. Uh, the first time coming into rehearsal, just overwhelming. So many people, and I'm the type of person that takes longer time to feel comfortable in front of a group of strangers. And the audition was scary. I even though with all the preparation and they even told us what we're gonna be asked, but then I didn't expect a whole, I don't know how many people, maybe 12 in front of me, and just nerve wracking. So, but it was definitely an unforgettable part.
What about rehearsals?
I love rehearsals. Again, I'm not the type that it takes me a long time to get warm up to get familiar with a group of people. So socially, sometimes I still feel kind of awkward, but I love the practice. I love getting singing tips from Tim. I love the whole process of all of us singing together. And when I first heard Tim and other people saying, "Oh yeah, we're making music together," and to me, I was like, "What, really? That's making music?" And then slowly, I understand what that really means.
Tell me about your first performance.
Um, it was awesome. It was um, the the most probably the part that I remember the most would be when we were at Sydney Goldstein, and before the show started, um, or the first song, they were basically opening the curtain and were belting out. Meanwhile, their audience were raving, and um, my mom and my sister were sitting really close to the stage, and I heard them almost like screaming out from their lungs, and that really is the not funny, but like it's a heartwarming moment for me while I was performing.
What did they say after?
They loved it. They loved it. They yeah. So just I'm sure when we get to perform again, they will go to every single one of them.
I know it's been short in that it's still your first year, but what's been the most rewarding part so far?
Um, when I first joined or during the audition, I got asked the same question, and it was just in a way innocently because I like singing. I needed to feel a sense of belonging, but I would say even though we only went through one performance, um, and a lot of rehearsal close to the second before it stopped, but I would say more so now because after we stopped rehearsing and with all the virtual meeting or including the conversations, I get to understand more truly the brotherhood and the family. I mean, it's strange. Like since we don't get to physically meet, I actually get to feel that more. That even a lot of us are still not so familiar with each other. but there is that true sense of care for each other. And that part to me is the most precious. And I always imagine the day when we get to meet again. I think it will be like I don't know, like it's gonna be like a crying fest just to see each other. And I feel that from time to time anyway. So it's the best I could put that into words, but that's how I feel.
It's beautiful. So tell me about growing up and how you ended up in San Francisco.
I basically my whole growing up, well, my um, I finished high school all the way in Hong Kong, and then I went to New York for to finish my college and started my first job. And after that, I went back to Hong Kong and for a good amount of time as well. And 3 years ago, I came back, but to on this side of the States to reunite with my family. And ever since I came back this go around in San Francisco, I've been working from home. So the sense of socially belonging to a group became more important. And then luckily I found us now.
I'm so glad you did. I love that everybody has a different path. You know, some people hear about it from a friend or from a family member. Some people go to a concert. Some people see a flyer posted somewhere. It's really beautiful to see. So, what was your journey toward coming out, if you want to talk about it?
Sure. Not not particularly difficult for me. I was studying in New York. My parents were in Hong Kong. Um, I came out to my sister first because we were very close. And then one summer when I went home, my mom accidentally looked at my diary and she found out. Um, I never came out to my dad. He passed away 3 years ago. So, but again, this is a long time ago, and it took my mom quite some time to get past that. And again, my sister played an important role to basically guide her in the process of accepting. But that's pretty much my coming out story. So nothing too heartbreaking or difficult, but it was still a process. It was still a learning process, apparently, for my mom and for me, trying to understand what she went through and how to help her to get to where she is now. He's saying not only her son being gay, but like the whole concept, especially for someone who's grew up in an Eastern country.
If there's some young queer person out there watching this who shares some part of their background with you, what would you tell them?
I think everyone needs to take their own time, especially when it comes to family, because we all have our own dynamic and relationship that no one else outside of our own family can understand. So basically, one is don't force or don't push yourself. When the right time comes, you would know. And number two would be reach out to anyone that you know you can fall back onto emotionally as your support. May it be a family member. In my case, it was my sister to start with. I did come out to a couple of my very close friends in the beginning as well. So just find someone that you can emotionally fall back onto as your support. And I think that would be, tremendous help for any young person.
I think so too. I think sometimes it's hard to know who those people are
Mm-mm.
and hard to find them. One of my favorite songs that we sing sometimes is called You Have More Friends Than You Know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about that idea that you may not know until you speak up who your closest friends or supports are going to be, but they're definitely out there.
One thing I do want to add is I might not able to imagine because I did have a very close sister. I did have a couple of very close friends that I felt safe to tell them. Um, I can imagine some people may not have that, but hopefully just reach out. Even sometimes it could be to strangers for organization like us. Just try to reach out to get help, even from stranger. Um, they are or we are out there to, when anyone needs help, and we'll be more than happy to, in however way that we can try to support.
Thank you. Is there anything else about your experience in the chorus that you'd like to share that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, actually, it was actually right before the lockdown. We had a call out for people also making videos, short videos explaining why we want to join. I had some thought then. I said yes to participate, but then of course we stopped that project for the time being. But apparently we all went through so many different things personally and together just the past few months. There are additional thoughts to that. Number one would be, and apparently in addition to the fact that I really like the singing portion of it, I really like the rehearsing and doing it together. I think it's important to have the representation. May it be, for me, I am minority in terms of ethnic background. I'm not born and raised here, so it's different. I'm a new immigrant. And I think it's important to have all sorts of representation, that just our presence for during performance or any other appearances that we, as the chorus, we have each of our own representation out there. I think it's some sort of support, and also personally, I'm not. I don't really belong to any typical categories, even within the gay community. I once was commented by my gay friend in New York saying that I was not gay enough. And I completely paused, and I was just, and well, I don't hate him for saying that, but I was just like, wow, I never got that comment before. And in an other incident, I was told that, well, apparently you're not born and raised here because you got an accent. And I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to. Number two is they were saying that, well, but you're not fobbish enough, as not as fresh off the boat. I'm like, interesting. And to me, I feel like, and going back to the importance of my presence, that someone that's not typically fitting into any preset category, I'm just here, and that's just how I am. And I think the importance, that's important for everyone that has contact with the chorus to know that the organization is truly that inclusive of all sorts of categories or types that you can name or you cannot. It's we actually are included, we are accepted, we actually belong regardless. So yeah.
Amen. That's so good. It's so true. I mean, there could be an entire video series just of people sharing all of the things that people have told them about why they don't belong, wherever
Mm,
that is, whether it's where they grew up or in queer organizations where they are now or somewhere else. And there's no room for that. That doesn't,
mm.
that's, that's antithetical to the mission of building community completely. So I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you're sharing some of those awful things. And you totally belong here. You totally,
Thank you.
totally belong. And if anybody is, listening and wondering if they should audition or whether, they'll fit in or not, you should absolutely audition and there will be a space for you.
Yes, and I just want to say that I still feel socially awkward. That's just me. So that's not. And at the same time, I'm still gonna encourage anyone who wants to audition. Please come because, yeah. So you walk your own path and you go through different things to get to different stages. But yeah, I'm not saying that you're gonna come in. Yeah, you're gonna be the most popular kid or whatever. But that's not the point of.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. This is awesome.
Thank you, Andy.